This podcast is brought to you by Independent Building Advice. IBA acknowledges traditional owners of the land and waters this podcast is recorded on. If you find this episode helpful, follow us for more so we can continue putting out free value for all homeowners in Australia. It really goes a long way. Enjoy the episode.
Today we are talking about a really hot topic and one that I think a lot of people are going to find very interesting, and that is appliances. When you're talking about appliances or all sorts of things, gadgets you can get into your home to make sure that your home is functioning well, how do you choose one appliance over another? We're talking about hot plates, ovens, range hoods, all this kind of great stuff, fridges, you name it. Well, I can't think of a better expert out there than, the Rick Hart family, but we're talking about Hart Co now. We've got Mick Hart right here with us, the son of the famous Rick Hart. Welcome onto the podcast.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
I'm very excited about this one. There is so much we could talk about. This is going to be a 5-hour podcast. I'm joking. We'll try and keep it in sequence, but if you love it, we'll get you back for sure.
Sounds good, man.
But mate, Hart Co, obviously, Rick Hart, your dad, big milestone just recently. Do you want to walk us through that?
Yeah, sure. Well, we've kind of stretched this one out, but yeah, 50 years in business or 50 years in the industry. So something that we're really proud of as a family. And,
amazing.
You know, as a family business. And yeah, it's a really good time to be able to reflect on what he's done. And obviously I've been around there for a fair portion of it, not quite 50 myself, but yeah, just to say the vision that he's had and you know where it's at now, and to be part of it, particularly in those latter years with Hart Co, is really cool.
Well, he's quite involved still behind the scenes, and your sister Belinda as well.
Yeah. So certainly my sister would probably say is too involved in some of the marketing.
You wouldn't say that?
The marketing arguments. Well, I leave the marketing up to my sister, but Rick, or Ricko as I probably refer to him most often, he loves the marketing, and that's been a passion, and obviously it's been a driving force of the business for so many years. So he still likes to chime in and say, we've got to do more press, we've got to do some TV advertising, and Belinda's just slowly trying to educate him on the wonderful world of digital marketing and having a balance.
Yeah, so coming into that new world, Riley's across it all, and it's like it's amazing how the new stuff comes out. You go, how can you, especially with AI around the corner, that's another whole new. But the fact that Rick, or Ricko as you may call him, is a celebrity in Perth around appliances. Like, you have to listen to the guy. I mean, that's who does that? Like,
yes.
If I'm selling dishwashers and I'm a household name, like he's more famous than half the football players out there. That's brilliant, and top marks, and he's obviously a great business person. But yeah, it's always difficult when your dad's involved in it. Go, Dad, I want to go this direction. No, you don't know what you're doing. And well done that you can actually work with your dad, your sister, and obviously that's amazing family unit you got there.
Yeah, and we've got a business partner as well who, whenever I'm introducing him, I say it's a brother from another mother. So he's been a business partner with the old man for over 20 years now.
Wow. Yeah.
So he's kind of part of the family, even though he's South African, we claim him.
Oh, yeah, that's good, close enough.
Yeah, so it's got a really good family vibe. And
it's like a Gantt chart, isn't it? Like, you take over here, but he's there, he's got the full handover.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I was kind of lost my train of thought, but that's what it was. When we do have an argument or a disagreement or different opinions, once we've gone past that, we walk out of the room and it's all good. It's all good. Happy families.
Yeah, I think that's really important that everyone understands that the argument you're trying to get the best result for the business.
Yeah,
you might see it from different angles, but you're still trying to get in the heart of it. You're trying to get the best thing. Unless it's personal, then it's different. Yeah. But, no, it's great. It's great. You got that dynamic, and obviously you've got that legacy of growing up with your sister and that. You're going, well, I remember when we were 3 and you stole my whatever. Yeah. You've got if you can get past all that, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
But surely your name being Mick and his name being Rick, surely he was planning this before you were born, going, how can we make this? Like, there's got to be some sort of planning there for sure.
Yeah, not sure if there was any planning there. And funnily enough, on my birth certificate, my name's different. So.
Oh, really?
So that's a whole different story. But always been known as Michael or Mick.
Yeah.
Or Rico calls me Micko. But also the other element there is that Nicholas, our business partner, so whenever I'm doing a bit of an intro, I say it's Rick, Mick, Nick and the chick.
Yeah. Poor Belinda, yeah. But no, that's fantastic. So obviously your shop there's got so much to offer. And we visited the other day with you. We met with you there and I went, oh, what's that? What's that? And there's all these new gadgets I didn't know about. I told my wife about it and she knew all about them. I went, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm just out of it, work too much. But what are some of the trends that you're seeing out there that are happening with kitchens and bathrooms?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've really focused mainly on kitchens.
So kitchens and laundries, I should say. Yeah, not bathrooms so much. Yeah.
But, I think, something that's been around for a little while, but certainly we've really seen a big shift in the last few years, last 5 years, is to induction in the cooktops. So I would say, and I haven't done the science, but, probably like 80 or 90% of our customers are heading in that direction.
Absolutely concur. I would say about 80, 90 as well. We actually... very rarely do people actually want gas these days. I think I've had last 50 clients, I think we've had 2 that wanted gas. So
yeah. So, and I'm a big advocate for it. It's been around for a long time, and technology's improving. So there's a lot more flexibility in terms of zones and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
And even you set your pot on say number 8 over on the left hand side, and then you shift it over to the right hand side, and it's intuitive enough to know that. So that's pretty cool.
Is that from a weight? Is that
gosh, I don't know the technicality behind it.
I wouldn't know either.
That smart.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure it's the weight actually. They calibrate that. Right? Well, just for people at home though, an induction cooktop, and this is going to be a very basic explanation of it, is it actually heats the metal of the pot pan, whichever, rather than, so if you touched it with your hand, it would be cool to touch. Some of the figures I heard is it will boil water in 30 seconds flat. But there's no flame.
Yeah, it's probably 30% quicker than gas, is my understanding.
Yeah.
In a bit of a broad way, but super quick.
Yeah, and they look hot.
Yeah, they just look good. Easy cleaning. Adds extra bench space. Can use it as a bench top essentially. So for somebody that's got a tight space, it's really good for that as well.
Yeah.
So I love it for all those reasons. And then some of the other things over the last few years is probably that boiling, chilled and sparkling water option. So Billy and Zip have dominated that space, but there's a few new players coming in there as well.
Do you just want to explain what that is?
Yeah, so, now they've just actually released what they call an all-in-one. So, the last few years has been a separate tap. So that will have boiling water, chilled water and sparkling water, or you can have a combination of either or. And now they've got that, so basically your main tap in the kitchen can have that all in one.
So it's instant, so you have instant hot water, no boiling the kettle or anything like
correct.
that. Yeah, brilliant.
So they're really great.
Have the prices come down at all with those? Because they were really expensive a few years back. I haven't had one price for a while.
Yeah, yes and no. So there's definitely more affordable ones, and there's probably some more affordable brands coming out. But then also with that all-in-one, that's kind of kicked up to a more premium
of
price
course,
point.
but the more you have in there, the better.
Yeah.
It's like men's hair care products. Yeah. Like, you got the shampoo, conditioner, soap, face wash all in one. Well, you actually get this now at a tap. It's perfect.
Yes, right? absolutely. Yeah, so that's been something that, it's kind of on everybody's wish list now.
Yeah.
And then, I'm always sort of talking to people in our showroom and saying if we ever lose husbands, they're in the wine cellar, or the wine preservation area, and that's been something that we've seen now in terms of kitchen design is people, if they've got that space, they'll kind of have almost like a little zone off to the side.
Oh, absolutely. I think every home we do has that. Yeah, absolutely. And a full cellar, but something, just a quick, when I go have a beer or a soft drink or something like that through the fridge, and outdoor, indoor, you need it convenient. So
I think, absolutely. Yeah. So
I think men and women are both pretty interested in that.
Absolutely, it's a bit sexist for me to say.
Oh no,
husbands,
mate, I'm sure the husbands beeline for it. I make no mistake.
Yeah, and then another spot would be the Alfresco area, and there's so many different options there as well. And Gozney is one of the ones that is really popular now. So the Gozney pizza oven, which is more than a pizza oven.
So tell us a bit, break it down, because people probably don't know what this is.
So the convenience, their kind of top model has the convenience of being gas and wood as well. So, you can get that real wood-fired thing going on. It takes a bit more time and a bit more love and care.
Yeah.
Or you can just bang on the gas and you're cooking a lot quicker.
Yeah, just got home from kids' sport. People are starving.
Yes.
Their friends came over with them, and maybe the parents as well for a few drinks. And okay, we don't have time to go through the whole process here. Let's get this thing.
Yeah, for sure. Or forgot to get the wood sorted. And those sorts of things.
Yeah.
As long as you don't forget the gas bottle.
Yes, that would. Yeah.
And gosh, what's some other things that are happening?
So just to break this down, so that's so you've got those outdoor options out there, and I think. Not to do a full plug here, but to go to your showroom and see what's out there is great, because I went there the other day and they had those, I think I said to you, what's that? You went, well, that's where you dry your towels and that in your room and stuff. So like these cool things, what's that called again, sorry?
So that's, so they're like a laundry cabinet.
Yeah.
Some of those have got steam, so you can pretty much steam your clothes or rejuvenate your clothes.
Get the wrinkles out and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, almost like a light sanitary
that's cool.
kind of care. So, that's something that's been the last few years, and more brands are coming out. So,
but that's my point, though.
Innovation.
Yeah, so you go to your showroom and you go, what's that? And then there's stuff you didn't even know people have sat down, like engineers have invented this thing.
Yes.
And you go, oh, wow, I didn't even know that was a thing. And they've got to have that in there. Maybe leave your Visa card at home so you don't go out and, okay, we can't afford the house. We've got all these cool gadgets. But there's also, you've also got that showroom you showed us that's got like all this like high end, showing you the full spectrum of affordable right through to not so affordable.
So that was probably their French Lacanche boutique.
So how do you say it?
Well, in my kind of Aussie twang, I just say Lacanche, but I'm sure the French, and certainly our French chef who comes in and cooks on it, she says it in a much more French way.
Yeah,
sounds a lot nicer. But that's a unique product. Not everybody's going to be getting that in their kitchens, but it's a unique product in terms of handmade in Paris. One artisan makes it from start to finish.
Amazing.
People say, well, how long does it take? And it's as long as that artisan takes.
Yeah.
But obviously you need a bit of time up your sleeve to get that. And it's got this lovely little touches that you can get your family name on the emblems on it. Yep. But it's actually quite scaled back in terms of technology. It's it hasn't changed too much since it was brought around in the early 1900s by a perfumist in Paris. So
natural transition, really.
One of the world's most luxurious brands, and Drake's got two of them in his kitchen. I saw in Vogue magazine. Sofia Vergara had one in her kitchen, and I saw her interviewed, and she said she's never cooked on it, but her son has. So.
Well, that's the point. Yeah, that's as you do. Like we were talking about earlier about appliances, like you have these Gaggenau or whatever, and we go, oh, no, we don't. We just get Uber Eats, but it looks amazing. As long as you use it properly. But look, so let's walk through different appliances in the kitchen. So obviously, people like what I mean. There's so many options out there. Like there's so many, and I've got brands that I like that I say to people, and then speaking to you goes, oh, we actually find this other brand might be better, or whichever. How do people narrow down this immense range of options? I think most people who are laymen would go aesthetics. But that may not be functionality the best. Have you got some ideas for us? Yeah,
and it's always a bit of a process, and it's really just asking questions for our customers. And there are those people that are like, I just want it to look good. We don't cook. So obviously we've got easy solutions for those as well. But it's really, our business, while we're always talking about appliances and all that, it's really about the team that we have there, the humans, or as I call them, the Hartians. And
the Hartians?
Not because they're, it rhymes with Martian, and not because they're alien-like, but it's more that they're out of this world. Yeah. And they'll just take the time to talk to customers that are in store, just to get an understanding of what happens in their family, what's going on in their kitchen, and getting an understanding, are they right into their cooking or their baking, or is it more about fast steaks because they've got teenagers that are rampaging for protein? So all those things that our guys are just really well versed on, and so then they can narrow it down, and then kind of, rather than meandering through our showroom, which we're happy for people to do, of course, but they can kind of narrow it down and maybe give two or three options. But the other really unique thing that we do is we've got a really heavy education program. When I say heavy, it's actually really nice for customers to go along to.
Yeah.
They get
heavy compared to none. Yeah.
They get really well fed.
Yeah.
And it can be something, somebody who's never been looking at appliances or whatever, they can start at the top with something like latest appliance demonstration, or an introduction to cooking with steam, and that's in an oven mainly. And then they can kind of go to those classes, and then they can go to more brand specific ones as well.
Yeah, wow.
And
they pay for this? How does that work?
No, so that's all complimentary.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, we're not unique in terms of offering those sorts of demonstrations, but I believe that the way that we do it and the focus on education just sort of takes away all that salesy.
It's not a box
stuff.
ticking thing. It's we're genuinely trying to get you to understand your product. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're learning about our customers at the same time.
Yeah.
And then probably the best part of it, which I love the most, is then and this is the unique part, we're the only company in Australia that offer this post-installation or post-purchase masterclasses. So then people come back. So that's when we get to see them, once they're finished with their build or their renovation.
Yeah.
And they're all excited and they're like, oh, I can't remember why I bought that oven.
Yeah.
And we go, well, this is the class for you.
Yeah.
And they can come back time and time again, and that's complimentary for life. So
I think that's really powerful. We had a presentation done a few years back with a brand out there, and I remember they cooked this roast and they had this crackling. I was looking at it, and it's the lunch, and it was just a great way. And I ate a bit of crackling, and I held off because I don't really need it. I need to lose weight, whatever. And everyone was holding off, and then I had one, and it just melted in my mouth. And then I reckon wars would start because everyone had piece. Everyone was looking and goes, "Wait, they're doing the maths going. There's not another piece for everybody." And it was like, but it was after doing that, I really understood how good that oven was, right? Because the guy just put it in there and just left it. And it was all timed and the temperature gauge. And it's amazing the technology these days. But if you're paying for this device, it's expensive. It's a big investment for what you're doing for your home. Yeah. You want to know how to use it. You don't want to find out 10 years later, it had that functionality. So that's brilliant that I've bought it. You guys spend the time to go, okay, we've already been paid on it, but we still want to make sure that you're using it properly and that you're getting the big benefits out of it. I think it's great.
100%. Yeah, we love it. And it's so cool to, get to see the customers again and, and they tell us about their journey in terms of their build and everything. And it's really cool.
That's brilliant. Absolutely. And then, so you've got that kitchen set up in there, don't you? So you invite them for the kitchen and you pull out their appliance and
So that's really flexible in terms of we can change brands in and out really easy. They kind of wheel in and wheel out.
Yeah, great.
And it's a really, it's basically, it's like home away from home. It's, while it's a really big kitchen, it is sort of something that you could see in somebody's home, and we hopefully portray it in the feeling that it's like being in our kitchen.
Yeah, you got the island bench there, and it makes sense. It's also, I'm a big fan with an island bench of not having any appliances there or sink. That's my thing, and I can argue with anybody about that. But if they want to, but that's that sort of setup where you've got that bench, people sitting there, they can have a chat, eat some food, talk with someone in the kitchen. Yeah, you're sort of mirroring what that would be like in your own home, which I think works pretty well.
And it's so social and interactive that we'll have about 8 people in there. Sometimes we need to stretch it out a bit further if it's a really popular class, and then you find that those people have become really friendly with each other, and it's kind of it's more than just the education. It's like a little bit of a social outing,
making friends for life. Like a dating there. You hook up with Tinder or something like that. And
there's an app in there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Come have dinner with, get an appliance and get a date. I love it. But on that, so one thing I want to ask you about is those because I'm skeptical, and I haven't actually seen it in practice, is when you have those hot plates that you've got there and they look awesome, but they actually have the range hood that suck in the air from the range hood to the sides. Now, I've always been a range hood above person, although I had a range hood when I was younger, one of my first houses I think it was, and I was in a rental, and the range hood would actually suck up the whatever it was from what you're cooking. But then the vent to release it was actually where your head was. So as I'm cooking, I'm going blind. It's like all this stuff's going, what's the point of this range hood? It's like, we won't have it here, but we'll have it right in your face because I'm fairly tall. But these ones, so they actually cooking, the range hood's on the side of it.
Yes, yeah.
But, and I haven't seen one in action, but are they, one, where I'm skeptical is, does that actually get rid of all that smoke, steam, whatever.
Yep.
And also, are they super loud that it's like an aircraft carrier going over your house? What are your thoughts?
So that's a Downdraft, and Jeepers.
Downdraft's an official name? Okay.
Yeah. And, over the last, probably 5 to 10 years, it's kind of exploded. And I'm not sure that it's an Australian-driven thing. I would say it's probably more European, smaller kitchens and those sorts of things, but it's certainly become more and more popular here, and there's a lot more to choose from, from an affordable right up to that, premium thing. So you do get varying degrees of success, but a great option for somebody who wants to do that island bench and they don't want to have anything overhead that's gonna bang their head into, or just the aesthetics of it all.
Yeah.
And yes, they certainly do work. Some will definitely be better than others, and then there's some that kind of telescopically rise, and they act as a bit of a screen as well. So if you're doing that, cooking in front of people, there's those sorts of things. There's one that's like got some glass that comes up, and
oh really?
Yeah.
Do you have that in your showroom?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
How to impress your friends?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Well, you don't want to see the
TV coming up,
or you don't like the person you're talking to. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Screen comes up. That's brilliant. But functionally, they work well.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I obviously got to see. I actually do have to investigate this more.
Yes.
I'm just as someone. There's got to be something wrong here. It can't be. But that's if it does, it's amazing.
Yeah, amazing. And there's quite a lot of choice in there now too. So pretty
there's
cool.
A mate of mine talking about you, Adam. If you're listening, but we put a house to him and he had an island bench and he really wanted the hot plate in the island. I said, mate, don't do it. Don't do it. This is going back 10, 12 years ago before this technology was out. Don't do it because he's 6'9".
Yeah.
And I said, you're going to have a range hood above your head. He goes, no, I'll be fine. I go, mate, don't do it. It's not going to work for you. You're 6'9". Anyway, sure enough, hot plate, range hood, staring at this range hood like while he's cooking, going, told you, what are you doing? But without that technology, that's beautiful. That's a great way to do it. But I think you should probably have a 1200 bench or something there, just so you're not getting the fats, blinding the person who's across from you. But it's amazing technology from that perspective.
Yeah, and I love that kind of the idea of it in an island bench and that social interaction. And family and all that.
So how do people select different brands? So like, for example, you've got one like you might have one that's a cheaper brand that's more of a household name. And I'll just say, I'm not saying they're cheaper, I'm saying but like a Westinghouse, which is like a household name, right?
Yep.
And then you've got those. And then, cause I had a lady I was speaking to the other day, and when this comes out, it'll be a long time ago, but and she was saying, this builder's appliances aren't very good because I've never heard of that brand before. Yeah, and I'm going, well, that's actually a good brand, but just because you haven't heard of it, like there's a bit more research.
Yeah.
How do people sort of select because cheap doesn't mean it's bad, and expensive doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
It's how do you guys select which ones to have in your showroom? Because there's so many products out there that we would never even heard of in Perth.
Yeah,
it must be hard to choose the right value for money for people.
Yeah, and there is more and more brands out there. Over that sort of 50 years, the old man's seen plenty come and go, but there's certainly, I would say now there's never been more brands out there and more that are trying to get into the Australian market.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, a brand like, say, Miele, I think Australia's like the second biggest market for them, might be the third biggest. So pretty amazing to think that little old Australia's the second or third biggest market for a brand such as that. But essentially, we go through a fairly rigorous process before we decide to sell a brand because it's ultimately, it doesn't matter what that brand is, it's all about our brand.
Absolutely, they're not good. You cop it, not them.
Yeah. So I suppose what that means for our customers is that they can come to us with bravado is not the word I'm trying to look for, but with confidence. And knowing that if we're selling the brand, that we're confident in it, and that means that there needs to be good backup. The supplier needs to be good humans involved there. Going back to that again, it's all about the humans that are in the chain somewhere along the line. So that's probably a big thing. And then, we always look at innovation, technology, what's going on, where's that company heading.
Can they support volume?
Absolutely.
Are they going to have delivery delays, things like that?
So, and going back to, you're talking to one of your customers about a brand and they weren't aware of it. There's been brands that we've kind of bought in and been the first in Australia or something, and we've kind of launched them, and all of a sudden they do become a bit of a brand name.
Yeah, because I think the issue a lot of brands would have coming to Australia is like that person I was talking about before, and they've seen a brand, they've gone, I don't know if that's a good brand or not, so I'm not going to touch it. And people are so busy, they don't have time to research everything. So then to go to a company like you and go, okay, Hart Co, you guys are obviously experts at what you do. Then your consultants have a chance to talk to people and go, let me explain to you this product and the differences, whereas you probably couldn't get that from a brochure or a little social media post or something. You can actually go, okay, let's compare the difference. Actually, that is a good brand. That does make sense.
Yeah.
And you got someone who's an expert going, yeah, this is a good brand and this is why.
Yes. Yeah. And, our team have got so much experience in terms of years in the industry, and they're just passionate about learning those things. So, it's funny because when we launched Hart Co, well, we opened so in our showroom, we've got 2/3 that's dedicated to Hart Co, and then 1/3 of the building is our outlet store called Rick Hart Outlet.
Yeah,
so
just behind you there.
Yeah. So, similar philosophies and all that with the brands and that, but that probably starts at a more affordable price level up to this kind of mid.
Just explain the differences. Just what do you mean by outlet and
so the
it's
Rick
not a
Hart
PowerPoint,
outlet,
I'm sure, but
so in a nutshell, that's where we we might get some special buys from a supplier, run out models, superseded, that sort of thing, and even factory seconds. And then we also have a more affordable kind of starting point there, up to kind of a mid-tier. And but in saying that, we'll get premium brands that might have a superseded.
Yeah, okay. But you still got the full serviceability and everything like
it. And it's smack bang right next door. I mean, it's part of the same building. And then the Hart Co side is probably more that mid to premium brands.
Yeah.
But we cover for everybody. With those two businesses, we can cover for the savvy renovator or just the quick replacement.
Or you want a $100,000 oven, just
so
with your name on it.
So I'm not sure where we were heading.
No. So what I was getting at is that trying to work out the different brands and how you model between them, because you've got experts there that are helping you. And just to jump on that, so you're talking about confidence, right? And our business is like that as well, because we give independent advice on building, renovating, extending. But, we don't want a client to find out, let's say they're building a home a year later or whatever, that they made the right decision. And the same thing with you. Like, I chose this oven. You give the clients confidence that they've chosen the right oven because you're going, this is the right one for you and why, by talking to them. And I think that's really important, that they don't find out a year later that they made a mistake. For
sure. Yep, absolutely. And that's, we want to kind of be able to stamp our name on it and be happy. And I think, and funnily enough, and I'm kind of going a little bit off topic, when we were launching Hart Co, a friend of mine who's a really intelligent human, actually, but he said, why are you opening a showroom, mate? Everything's going online. And I remember for 30 seconds I thought, geez, maybe he's right. Why are we investing in this massive showroom, big fit out, air conditioning and all these things? And I'm passionate about coffee, so a ridiculously expensive coffee machine that's kind of bulletproof. Online. And then I thought, no, it's way more than being online. It's being exactly that you can ask one of our team their recommendation. And as I said, they ask some questions, and sometimes they'll just be like, this is exactly what you're after, and can be really quick decision for the customer. And other times it'll be like, no, we need to go on this little journey and have a look at 2 or 3 different options, maybe even more. And, sometimes there's multiple visits to the showroom, and we're happy with all those things.
Well, everyone's really different. Like when we have it, like you got some people that want to go right into specifications, and like the engineer sort of mindset, like no, tell me how many kilowatts, whatever this has got, and then you got other people would go, no, if you think it's good, I'll grab it. And that's the ability of being able to adjust and how deep do you want to go into this. But I think look, maybe I'm old, but that feel and touch and that personal experience, just for that confidence. Because I research stuff online, I buy stuff online, like most people do. But someone goes, have I done all the research? Have I really ticked through all these boxes? But you might be comparing 3 products and have no idea this other one exists. that was actually a better option for you.
Yeah.
I think that for something like such a big purchase, and kitchens are so important to get right, obviously laundries, all the other appliances that you have as well, to have someone there going, no, I think this is better. You still do all the research online.
Yeah,
I think that idea to do that is great. Can people buy stuff online with you guys? Yeah, so you're offering both.
We're a platform for both the businesses, Rick Hart Outlet and Hart Co as well. So that's probably an opportunity for us. To grow that space, but certainly we're keeping busy enough with.
Oh, mate, it certainly wasn't a ghost town when we went and visited you there. Oh, man, there's people everywhere. It's great. And your consultants are really on the ball too, which is great. Like you walk in there, hey, how you going? Have a look, or is in the hand. It's great.
Yeah, and that's that's just part of the culture. It's not really something that we train our team. They just sort of. They just know that that's the way that you got to treat people.
Yeah, absolutely. So have microwaves sales gone right down now with the ovens that do both microwave and also cooking as well? Is that sort of some trends that are going that way?
Yeah. So
the convention ovens.
Yeah. Particularly, you've got that sort of the trend, I suppose, of an oven stack. So people will go for that, the 2 or sometimes 4 or
it's a good
6
look.
ovens.
How big's your family?
So it does. I mean, I must admit, in my scullery, I've still got a microwave mainly for the kids, just to do a quick reheat.
Yeah.
But I've also got a combi oven that's got the microwave in it, and the benefits of that is that you can roast a chook in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's using that microwave technology, even though that's been around for a long time. But something like that's really good. And I've got 3 daughters, so sometimes everything's panic stations, and we've got to get food done quickly. So having that is really cool.
So do you swap out your appliances at your own house every week? I'm going to try this one this week, and Johnny, I understand this appliance this week. Is that how it works? So?
No, not really. But I did recently just swap them out. And people go, you must, get it for free or whatever. And no. I always buy them because I don't want one of our suppliers to hold that over me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But also because I want to be, when I talk to a customer, I want to be able to say, well, my hard-earned went on that brand.
Yeah, but Well, I agree. Like, you don't want to turn around and say, look, we got that for free, but I wouldn't recommend them. But then it muddies the waters that we're recommending them because they looked after us. So I like that. Yeah. I'm sure that if it broke down, they'd fix it up pretty quickly for you. I imagine. I imagine that they are going to look after you a little bit there. But no, I think it's important though. Like you said, you've got 3 daughters. You got a family. The whole thing. Mm-hmm. How you live your life is different to how someone else might live their life. Yeah. And the right tool for the right job, I think, is really important. Yeah. We're about to renovate our house, our kitchen. That I've been putting it off for ages, just because. When I get home, the last thing I want to talk about is renovating houses. But and my wife and I are having that debate about it. Underbench oven, 900 oven versus the wall oven stack where, you don't break your back, leaning down, things like that. And that debate's happening now. And, I'm sure I'll probably lose it. In fact, I've already lost it. I'm just fighting a losing argument. But it's that conversation you have to have.
Yeah.
And if you don't know enough about it, now we obviously do this for a living. We probably know more than most people.
Yeah.
Speak to the experts. If you don't know or you're having a debate, get a third party in there to go, these are your options for you and how that works.
And be the pacemaker. And
100%. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you're
experts.
Yes, exactly right. Being neutral and keeping marriages together. But also, I think a lot of people have a legacy, and we find this with like wallpaper, painting, all sorts of things. They have this legacy of what things were like when their parents grew up or when they built a home 20 years ago. And the technology's come so much further with cleaning and that they've got this, and I won't say brand names, but we often hear a particular brand that my research has told me that they're actually not that great, but they're a household name in Perth. And they might be really good. I could be talking way off track here. But everyone goes, they're really good because it's a legacy from 20, 30 years ago of them being really 100%. Good. And you go, I think there's better options out there for you. But they go, no, we have to have that because they're really good. And you go, okay, well, and it's worth just find out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be curious and find out, and you might get a better option out there.
Yeah, well, we've all had those fridges that have lasted 30 years or sometimes even longer, but the brand that it was 30 or 40 years ago is different to what it is now. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's I think I might tell you last time I had a mate of mine bought a $7 million property. And it was great. He's got a photographic
battler.
Yeah, absolutely. He's doing it rough. And he basically he went around the whole house, and he's got like a photographic memory. So he's gone through the whole home, bought it, put offer in, got it. And when he's gone there and settled me, he's walked in there and goes, something's different about this kitchen. And the previous owners like removed all these expensive appliances and put in like these really cheap ones. And he's just going, nah, there's been this whole like, battle between the two of them over appliances. He goes, it's a $7 million home, mate, like whatever. But he goes, something's not right. Something's changed. I don't know what it is. And he finally figured it out. Yeah. So it's funny how people are passionate about their appliances.
They're so passionate they wanted to take it with them.
Yeah, as you do, mate. Go, mate, $7 million, let it go. Let it go. Yeah, exactly right. Like, what are you doing? But anyway, each their own. No, I don't want to judge. Now, just one more question. This is probably more of a process thing. So someone's building a house, and obviously you got to decide earlier what you're going to choose for appliance.
Yes.
How does that process work? Do they pay for it now, and then you hold on to it and then deliver it on site? Is that sort of how this works?
Yeah, pretty much. So we work with some brands that we act as an agent, like our competitors do as well. So some of them will hold stock in their own warehouse channels or logistics and whatnot, and then we have our own third-party logistics provider. They're based out in Cannington, also a family business, and have some big brands that they represent as well in the industry, so they know what they're doing. And we've got a really good relationship with them, and they've got a great bunch of people. In fact, I had to buy a new washing machine about two or 3 weeks ago, and they came out and installed it for me, and great people, and I provided feedback back to the company, and then the general manager came back to me and he said, "Oh, they didn't even realise it was you," and which doesn't mean anything anyway. But,
do you know who I am?
But it was more that they just provided
great service
that I know that our customers get as well.
You hope to, absolutely. Because that's it. But with the logistics thing, sorry.
Oh, sorry. So I was just going to say, but we also understand that projects get delayed. So there are times when new products will come out, so we'll happily upgrade to the the latest and greatest if that's what the customer wants, or they can stick with if a model gets outdated or whatever.
Because I've had a few people go, I've got this product that I really want, but I don't want to buy it now and then store it at home for when the builder's ready for it. I've gone, no, you can buy it now. I'm pretty sure the supplier is going to deliver it closer to the date, because it's a year away. You don't want it sitting in your living room while you're waiting for it, or the builder can do it themselves. But builders will generally put a markup on it, so it's each their own. But that's something you have to work out. But no, it's just that logistics. Pay for it now, and then get delivered later on. And that is a pretty seamless process anyway, because you guys work with builders all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, there's so much we could keep talking about, but obviously we both have day jobs. We ask everybody a question. I'm not sure if I actually gave you a heads up on this one, but
gosh.
everyone a question. So if you're going to build or renovate your home, or you're going to buy some more washing machines, which if they asked you 3 weeks ago, you go, washing machines. But you're building, renovating your home, or extending, whichever, and someone says, hey, here's 10 grand, but you have to spend it on your home. What would you spend it on?
It's a good question, and probably a couple of things maybe. But the big one for me is a combination steam oven. That's a life changer.
Walk me through it. Why? Why is it a life changer?
Because if you think of everything that you would cook on your cooktop, in terms of steaming and boiling, you can do that in your steam oven. And it's called a combi oven because you can steam, so just steam, or you can use part steam with a convectional oven or with a fan forced oven, or you can just use an oven normally. So it gives you those things. So it's basically using restaurant technology in your home. It has been around for a while as well, but that's certainly one of those things that we do the education on, because it's kind of scary. But it's actually not scary. And talking about that pork crackle, I'm an expert at it. Have been since the very first day that I tried, just straight from one of our lessons.
See, now I can't have that, because it's dangerous,
It is, and one of the benefits of that is you can literally have, you can have rice going, you can have salmon, and you can have your dessert all in the one oven, and there's no cross transfer of flavours or
You're joking.
Smells in it.
That is epic.
That's pretty cool.
So this is what I get on the show, mate, so I can learn this stuff,
But again, for me, it's, family coming and going, whatever it is, sport going on, or studying, or now I've got 2 of my daughters that are driving, so they're in and out, and a boyfriend that practically lives with us full time as well. So it's about quick, easy, but also being healthy.
Yeah. So just on that note, you just said then, we'll come back. I'll come back to the other ones as well. But we find that all the time now. That it used to be you buy your first home, starting a family, teenagers, and then downsizing. There's this new one now that, wait, these kids are at uni, they're not leaving. We need to extend or get bigger because we need the extra space. There's a whole new thing that's happening now with the way the world's going. But I digress. So that was one of your ideas.
Yep. Yeah. So that'd be one, and the other one is going back to the if I'm not talking about a beverage centre or wine storage, it would certainly be that the tap, the boiling, chilled sparkling option.
Yeah, I think that convenience. I talked before about inductions, cooking water, and well, that's bang straight away. Hot water, cold water. Yeah, I mean, I've had that. My last house had that, and it was amazing.
Yeah. So I reckon for $10,000, you'd easily get that in there. We could probably throw in the induction cooktop as well. And,
and then maybe some wine fill up the fridge. They actually go with it. So that's hey, they're all kitchen things. And look, at the end of the day, like you could have chosen anything, but all the things are practical. They make a lot of sense to your home. And on a scheme of building a house where the kitchen really is the most important part of the home, a $10,000 investment in those three things is, at the end of the day, it's money you're going to appreciate, and it makes such a big sense. So
and then without rabbiting on about my family, as much as I love them, but that's the only place that we all hang out together is in the kitchen, and we've got a kind of an open plan living, but everyone's around the breakfast bar, and it's not always happy conversations, but hopefully most of the time it is, and that's that's just such an important part of it, because otherwise you never see them.
Well, that's the secret weapon, I think, of parents, though, isn't it? Is food. Yeah. So I've got food here. You have to chat to me if you want some of it. I've got this food just on the table right here. Just sit right there, and we can have a conversation. But that's especially at that age, that when when the kids are older and they can drive, and that you want to maintain that relationship and that you find out what's happening, and they're on the go. Like everyone's on the go. If you don't have that moment, you lose track, and then it's hard to be part of their lives. So I think it's great. Sounds like you got a pretty nice kitchen happening there, mate. So
I'm pretty happy with my kitchen. No, it's really good.
But that's the dangerous thing about you at the office, is that you go,
that's
maybe we need one of those at home. No, got to stick to my area. Mick, thank you very much for coming on. Congratulations to your dad also for 50 years and the business as well. That is epic. Especially this day and age. So that's phenomenal. You guys are a great business, and you're a wealth of information on the whole family, as I'd imagine. I'm going to ask you one actual question before you leave: is at what age did you go, okay, I'm now going to be part of the business? Was that always the plan for you? Was that always, or is that something that you went, this could work?
Yeah, well, this is a bit of a sad story. So not in the way of crying sad, but sad that I remember my lovely grandma came back from Japan on a holiday in the 80s, and she bought this slimline tape deck. Remember the old tape decks?
Yeah, no, unfortunately I do.
For some reason, I always think back to primary school, and there was always one in a classroom or whatever, but this was a slim line one, so this was pretty cool. And I remember, and this is the sad part, is I remember recording myself. I must have been 6 or 8, selling a dishwasher. So I was practicing how to sell a dishwasher at that age. So I can't remember a moment in time, but I remember doing that. So I reckon I was kind of destined to do it. But I did spend some time doing some other things outside of the business.
So your dad had you doing child labour, selling washing machines at the age of 6. Is that what have I heard that properly?
Yeah.
And did anyone buy this dishwasher?
Well, I've sold a few in my day, I suppose. Yeah. But and then from there I just I'd come in on school holidays. I used to feign illness on days that I knew mum was tied up, so I'd have to go to work with dad. And
it's natural progression. But it's such a great business. It makes sense, And when your name's Mick and Rick, I mean, it was only a matter of time.
And there's one other little element there that I just thought of was we've just had a lady last week celebrate 40 years working with the old man. So she used
wow.
to pick me up from primary school. So maybe it's all those things.
Well,
in
that's amazing.
combination.
And that speaks volumes too, that if you've got someone that's been there that long, you're doing something right with your staff and customers. And you know, when I was there, everyone seemed pretty happy. So, you know, not that I was interviewing them, but 40-year legacy there, that's pretty amazing.
That's
so,
cool. Yeah.
so, mate, that's fantastic. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Ben. I really appreciate it and hope the rest of the day is good.
Hopefully me too. Thanks, mate. Cheers.